He's a Malibu local. Watch out.
Got a shot of you. What's up? Just look I want to go say something.
This is for the post office?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Shut now, folks.
3 felons. We got the 3 felons.
What you gonna do? See me over here? Hold on.
The 3 felons.
You're no evil.
Oh my God. He can't be that one. He talks too much.
That's the whole point.
The 5th annual Surfers Walk of Fame is ready to commence now. And this is the original surf city of the world, Hermosa Beach. Hi, my name is Get Off Your Couch, Raj Bacon. And we started the Hermosa Beach Surfers Walk of Fame in 2003. We will be honoring 8 outstanding surfers: John Whitney Gill, Alf Laws, Mike Stevenson, Donald Takayama, Toby Erlinger, Bev Morgan. Bob Maestro, you're not clapping nearly hard enough. Patrick O'Connor, one of the first women surfers in organized surfing on the Surf Club of Dewey Weber. Rosemary Reimers Rice, stand up, Rosemary. Toby Erlinger, come on up here. Where are you, Toby? Here is the beautiful surfboard made into the Surfers Walk of Fame. Hermosa Beach, California, the original surf capital, home of surf champions and legendary surfboard shapers. As enthusiasm grew during surfing's early days in Southern California, Hermosa Beach gained a well-deserved reputation for having the most consistent surf. The surf culture, boards, wetsuits, surfboards, music, casual clothes spread outward across the United States from the surf community centered in Hermosa Beach. On March the 29th, 2003, to honor and recognize the surfers, surfboard craftsmen, and outstanding watermen who opened up the ancient sport of wave riding to the modern world, the Surfers Walk of Fame on the Hermosa Beach Pier officially inducted 7 charter members and 16 pioneer members. John Whitney Gill gets this honorary award. At Maui, he was towed into a 50-foot wave and he made it. He didn't take a picture of it, but he did take a picture of the 30-foot wave. John Whitney Gill, the 3rd generation Hermosa, was born into a surfing family. As a pro surfer, he had a top 16 4A ranking, and his contest victories spanned 5 decades. With over 30 wins, he was a team rider for Greg Knoll, Bing, and Jacobs surfboards. He's one of the early toe-in surfers and rode a 50-foot wave in Maui. At the age of 50, Gill set the Utah hang gliding altitude record at 12,000 feet and has saved lives in the mountains and the oceans of the world. John Whitney Gill, stand up and get your plaque.
Thank you very much, Roger. I'm very honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame here. Grew up here in Hermosa Beach and have loved surfing my entire life, and it's a great honor to be honored this way on the pier.
Surfers Walk of Fame for Mike Stevenson, honorary award. An extraordinary ocean athlete and Hermosa Beach native, Mike is part of a revered surfing lifeguard legacy, which began with his father, Chief Lifeguard Bud Stevenson. Mike, an outstanding surfer, has won contests in California and Hawaii. He was a member of the original Jacob surf team and co-founder of the Bay City Surf Club in the 1960s. He also represented the LA County Lifeguard in both national and international competition, winning the National Paddleboard Championship 7 times and the National Lifeguard Ironman Trophy 4 times. A real Ironman.
Thank you, Roger. I would like to thank the City of Hermosa Beach for this great honor growing up here, and also all the surfer lifeguards in the crowd. They know who they are, who shaped my life and my friend Alfred Law's life. And I would just again like to say thanks to Roger for the energy and effort putting in and this great honor. Thank you very much.
Alf Laws, honorary award. Alf Laws, Hermosa Beach native and consummate waterman. grew up in the Strand. His family home was a pseudo clubhouse that ultimately spawned the creation of the Bay City Surf Club, one of the premier surfing clubs in the country during the 1960s. The founding members formed a lifetime friendship and water sports affiliation that included an elite class of surfing and the highest echelon of lifeguard service and competition. He was an LA County lifeguard and competitor for 30 years and was awarded the Lifeguard Medal of Valor in 1992, inducted July of 2007 with a lifeguard logo on his plaque.
Thank you very much, Roger. I'd like to thank the City of Hermosa and everyone responsible for this wonderful tribute. Surfing and water activities have been my life, and I was lucky enough to grow up on the Strand. I think it's just a really wonderful tribute, and I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you very much.
We have one here for Donald Takayama. He's not here. I guess the Hawaiian weather was too good to come over here. Donald Takayama, Honor Award. Donald Takayama's surfing talents were already approaching legendary status when he left his native Hawaiian at the age of 12. He built surfboards for Dale Velzy in the South Bay. His surfing expertise was matched by his shaping skills, which included popular signature models for Jacobs surfboards and Bing surfboards. He was one of the rare competitors who excelled in both the early longboard contest and shortboard competition, winning U.S. championships, and he was notified and recorded as being on the World Surfers Walk of Fame. Toby Erlinger is one of our pioneer surfers. Toby, in 1956, took the Trestles Championships in San Clemente. That's the first major championship right after the war area. Not only did he take it, but he beat Greg Knoll, he beat Dale Velzy, he beat Pete Peterson and the Dale Velzy and Hobie Alder. Here's Bev Morgan, originally in business with the Maestros Bob and Bill, and I believe Hap Jacobs, down at Redondo Beach across from the old 20th Century Fox Theater. Yep. This man is noted for his diving expertise. I think you've had some work with Jacques Cousteau originally?
Yes.
He's an expert diver. When he surfed at Surfrider up at Malibu, he's the first one that ever hung 10, as far as I know. This guy hung 10 toes over the board. 5 was something, but 10, that's something else. That's Bev Morgan. The Surfer's Journal has about 5 pages of him. And if you all would have been at the press conference, you would have seen it. This gentleman was one hell of a surfer. He's one heck of a diver. He's one heck of a waterman. And I want to thank Bev Morgan so much for being here. And Bev, would you say a few words?
Well, it's an honor to get this, and of all the years I lived, matter of fact, I lived over Kerwin's right down the street here. And they keep me up at the lighthouse until 2 o'clock in the morning, but it was a good life, and it's a great honor to be receiving this today. Thank you.
The O'Connor family is so well known in Hermosa Beach. Augusta O'Connor, a very eloquent, wonderful speaking attorney, the city attorney for the city of Hermosa Beach. He raised his family in Hermosa Beach. He was dedicated to his family. We have somebody here that's now his son, that's going into the Surfers Walk of Fame. One of the best known lifeguards, one of the best men on the Taplin races. They took it many, many, many times. An excellent paddler, excellent swimmer, and yes, he surfed. and I think he surfed just before he went into the service. Pat, how many days did you surf at Malibu?
62 days.
62 days before they got him into the service. That's how much he loves surfing. So Pat O'Connor, would you please step up?
I'd like to thank everybody that's here. I'd like to thank Roger and Toby. I'd like to say I'm very honored to be here with you, Nate. You were the greatest guy I ever worked with on the lifeguard service. Chuck was an example to all of us, still is. He's a heck of a guy. And all you other people that come here from Hermosa. My family moved here 70 years ago. I moved out of Hermosa, but I've always considered myself a Hermosa all the way. This is my hometown. So thanks again. Keep the surf coming, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, a woman that put her application in since 2003. It took a long time to get her recognized for what she did for women surfing. We now have 3 women on the Surfers Walk of Fame. Now we've got another one going in. It'll be the 4th. This woman surfed on the Dewey Weber surf team. She stuck it out in a lot of surf contests. She's still surfing. She's married to Johnny Rice. She's a wonderful lady. She did a good job keeping the feminine notice on surf teams with Dewey Weber. And at this time, I would like to have Rosemary Reimers Rice come up and receive her award.
I just want to say thank you, Hermosa Beach, and my family who made me stick this out. And thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mary Reel Kerwin in 1939, the Kerwin family took the national championships in Long Beach in 1939. Linda Benson took it 4 times, starting in the 60s and finishing in the 70s. 5-foot dynamite, riding 20-foot waves at the North Shore. Flew with United Airlines as a flight attendant. What a wonderful person. Mary Setterholm at the age of 17 took the national championship. She's also in the Surfers Walk of Fame. It's a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to have 3 ladies on the Surfers Walk of Fame that are national champions. We have 1 man, which is Dewey Weber. I can't thank you all enough for you being here. This is something that's worthwhile, and I want to do something right now. I want you to listen to something. That's 4 rings, and you're welcome to look at the Taplin Trophy, won by the LA County Lifeguards, the champions that beat Santa Monica and other teams. And we're honoring those 4 lifeguards today. So we give them 4 gongs on the bell, the Taplin Judge Taplin Trophy. And Nate, would you just say a couple words to all these people? And I want to thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming today. I appreciate everything that the lifeguard service has done for me. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say a little bit about Bob Meister over here. He probably doesn't realize how much influence he had on the group that's giving Nate this such a award today. But we were taught by him in the early days on body surfing and boogie boarding, or at the time belly boards. And then he even sold me his redwood and balsa as he went out and got a Simmons board, and I thought I had the greatest thing in the world. And I later found out I needed a Simmons board too. And all of the names on there have had a great deal to help me in life. Nate saw to it when I started my surf school, which was the first surf school in the United States on the mainland. Nate switched my schedule around so that I could be down closer to the Redondo Pier where the surf wasn't so out of control and it was easier to teach. And it just was a fraternity at that time and still is. Everybody name on that deal still sees each other and still has a great time together. Thanks, everybody.
You're not going to make that work. Who's going to pay to learn how to surf? Well, mothers and fathers had a chance to send their kids to a surf school where they had a super lifeguard who excelled safety, riptides, how to protect your head when you lose your board, how to stay away from other surfers that are wild surfers. He had a cartoon drawn up for all of the perils of surfing that he advertised. And when he put it out in the breeze and he put it out in different shops in the community, the first time he opened up, how many students did you have?
I had $125 in my hand. That was like $1,000 today.
That wasn't bad. He's been successful in business and successful in marriage. He's a wonderful success. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being here and taking the time to listen to this. And God willing, we'll all be here next year. And we're going to be organized because next year, all the Surfers Walk of Fame inductees are going to be selected by former Surfer Walk of Fame inductees. Sorry to say, I will no longer be a judge. There'll be no more commissioners. There's not going to be, hopefully, any politics, not that there has been, but it's going to be nice and clean. We're going to have our own date. We're not going to be backed up to the concert by the sea. We're going to have our own date, our own time, and our own venue. I want to say one last thing. Here's a guy that's a surfing Santa Claus, and he got away a little bit at the press conference, but here's Paul Matthews, and I want him to say a word.
Thank you.
Paul Mathis was a star at Redondo Union High School in basketball and football. He made a half-court shot during the Santa Monica Redondo game. There were 6 seconds left in the clock, and Paul won the game for Coach Herb Ools. Is that right? That's right. There you go. Okay, I guess. Anybody else? Do you want to say something?
I just wanted to thank Roger for being the most long-winded MC in history of Hermosa Beach. And I want to thank him. I also want to bring Rick Koenig up here for 1 second. Rick, do you want to do a quick 1-minute commercial on the Hermosa Beach Museum and its surf culture section?
I'd love to, Michael. First off, I'd like to thank Roger once again. Roger's been very, very supportive of the Hermosa Beach Historical Society. A lot of the plaques you see on the pier out here, he's actually duplicated and given us to display in our new museum. Now, I'm sure that everybody out here knows that this is our centennial year. Hermosa's celebrating 100 years of being a city. We've had one event right after another, and this is another one of the great events that's very, very important to our city and important to our history. Within our museum, we have some great stuff. One of them being a 1949 film of the Pet Parade. And I got to tell you, there's a guy at the microphone that looks suspiciously like Roger Bacon in that picture. We're going to have to check it. No, you can't have it yet, Roger. I'm sorry. We're open from 2 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Could I have an attorney, please? Please come up and visit our museum. We'd like you to all join the museum, be a part, join, and thank you, Roger. And
you gotta stand in line with an attorney, my friend.
I just want to thank everyone for coming in the silhouette of our Tim Kelly statue, who we dedicated about 2 years ago. I want to thank everyone who contributed to that. It's a real heart treasure in our city.
Nate, I want to thank Nate because he drove a long way for coming here. This man and I played volleyball when I was having a rough time in life. We didn't have a Ford dealership. I didn't have any cars to sell. I started selling sand crabs. So he still holds the record from Los Angeles to Chicago. What was the time?
2 hours and 34 minutes.
On a 707 with a new fan jet? Correct. I got it right.
I was at a conference this weekend. I told people from Huntington Beach, we we are the capital of surfing.
Yay! I want you to say a word on behalf of the city of Hermosa Beach.
Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you very much.